Hey guys, Carissa Rose here. This is my art hack video with tips and tricks for artists of all levels. If you're using acrylic paints on canvas and you make a mistake, you can still salvage your painting if you're quick. Just wet a paper towel and wipe up that mistake. Acrylic paints are water soluble, so any wet paint will get smudged or picked up by the water, but any of the paint that is dried underneath will remain intact. If you want to trace your sketch but you don't have a light box, use your window. Tape that baby up and start tracing your sketch onto a new sheet of paper. This also works really well if you're tracing onto thicker art paper. If you're doing a more intricate piece with a lot of details, it may help to tape your sheet of paper that you're drawing onto as well, but be careful because you don't want the tape to rip your paper on your final piece. And disclaimer, don't try this at night. Got some extra bubble wrap lying around? Incorporate it into your art. Paint on some bubble wrap and then you can use it as a stamp to put patterns into your artwork. This is a fun way to give some pieces a pop arty feel and can also be applied for countless DIY projects. You can even get creative and paint shapes onto the bubble wrap. There are endless possibilities if you get some inspiration with it. I use this method to add white spots to the top left and bottom right corner of this piece. Have you ever worked on a piece and felt like there's something wrong with it but you just can't put your finger on it? Well, try flipping it over. Looking at your drawing upside down can give you a whole new perspective of what you're looking at. It can also help you find any flaws in your composition. Don't know how you're going to color in your new outline? If you're scared of ruining your outline by choosing the wrong colors, try making a copy of it first. You can also scan your outline and then print it. Then you can experiment with colors worry-free. Alternatively, you can also scan it in the computer and use a program like Photoshop or Paint to test out different colors before going back to your original outline and completing your final piece. Many artists like to use red or blue pencils when sketching for a variety of reasons. This works really well if you want to make a really messy, sketchy sketch, but still want to be able to come out with a clean outline. You do all your messy sketching with your red or blue colored pencil, and then you can go back over this with a black colored pencil or pen, although be wary, some pens may not work over some colored pencils. This method can work particularly well if you plan on tracing over the original sketch, because if you use some sort of a light box to trace over it to get a new outline, you will be able to see the black lines a lot crisper and cleaner and be able to differentiate them from the red or blue lines. Rather than if it was all pencil, it would all sort of merge together and you wouldn't be able to see your crisper lines. And if you're good with Photoshop, you can always scan your sketch in and then remove those red or blue lines digitally to leave you with your black outline. I have a secret weapon for blending pencils, and it's practically free. I wonder what it could be. Yep, toilet paper. Kleenex works just as well. This is a trick I picked up in middle school so I could blend my pencil drawings during class. You can use toilet paper to give you some really smooth blends with your pencil drawings. You can wrap it around your finger to cover a large area to blend, and then when that part gets smudged up, just wrap a different part of the piece of toilet paper around your hand to have a clean new blending tool once again. Kleenex and toilet paper also work great for if you need to blend a smaller, more detailed area, because you can take the toilet paper and fold it into a tip and it will be more like a blending stump. However, I do prefer toilet paper over blending stump, just for the fact that you can so easily refold it to get a nice clean new stump and don't end up smudging dark pencils over areas that you want it to be light. Not to mention that blending stumps cost money. So using toilet paper to blend is also a great way to cover a lot of area with pencil. You can get a really, really nice gray wash just by going over your pencil lines with the toilet paper, and then you can go from there and create whatever wonderful artwork you would like. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but mess around with it, I bet you'll have some fun. And if you get the hang of it, you'll be able to create some beautiful, wonderfully blended pencil artwork. Did you know you can paint with Sharpies? Just grab your household rubbing alcohol and a whole bunch of Sharpie markers, and please make sure you're in a well-ventilated area with a window open or at least a fan going, because the fumes from the rubbing alcohol are pretty bad for you and they can definitely make you dizzy. So to paint with Sharpies, you're going to take a canvas and you can draw on it with the Sharpies and then take a paintbrush with some rubbing alcohol to blend them. You can also take your Sharpies and draw on some sort of plasticky surface. You could use like a palette. I used a piece of tape, and then you can take your rubbing alcohol to blend it on the piece of tape to get more of a watercolor-like medium to work with. Now, it doesn't feel exactly the same as watercolors because the rubbing alcohol really picks up a lot of ink when you use it, but painting with Sharpies can definitely be a lot of fun, and you can come up with a lot of really cool effects with it, and the colors are just so vivid, so it's definitely worth a try if you've never tried it. There are just countless DIY projects that you could apply this to. Using a grid can be a great tool for artists of all levels. It's a great way to accurately recreate a reference. Grab your reference and your ruler and start by putting lines at 1-inch increments on your piece that you're going to be drawing. You can use whatever increments you want, but for this example I'm using inches. Then you're going to draw a line across all these increments to make a grid for your piece. So now this 4x4 inch drawing will have 16 cubes, and I'm just going to cut out that reference. So I'm going to be redrawing this twice the size. So 2 times 1 inches is 2 inches. So now I'm going to, on a new sheet of paper, draw 2-inch increments. If you want to make it 1.5 times the size, then make it 1.5-inch increments. If you want to make it 3 times the size, make it 3-inch increments. Just don't press too hard with your pencil so you can erase those grid lines later. And now that you've got everything all mapped out, you're going to want to start redrawing your reference square by square. It makes it a lot easier to redraw your drawing with such close lines for reference. And if you're having problems getting something in the right spot, you can always add an additional grid line through one of your squares by adding a line in the center of your reference and then your picture, and then it's a lot easier to draw it accurately to your reference. Then you just go ahead and erase those original grid lines and you'll have a great base sketch to start working on your new piece. Well, what if you want to enlarge a piece but you don't want to get all those grid lines all over a canvas? If you happen to have a projector or know someone who does, it's a great way to enlarge a sketch onto a canvas. This would also work great if you want to enlarge an image onto a wall for painting a mural. I was lucky enough to find this projector at a Goodwill for only $5. However, you can buy used projectors online for fairly affordable prices. So to do this, you trace your sketch onto a piece of transparency paper, and if you're like me and didn't have any transparency paper, you can also take a large Ziploc bag and cut it in half and tape it to your sketch. Draw it out and you'll have your nice clean outline transparency. Then you're going to want to set up your projector across from a wall and put up your canvas. Then you can get your outline into focus. Then you're going to want to really lightly with pencil sketch out your outline onto your canvas. You may want to put additional thumbtacks in the wall to hold your canvas in place. And then there you go, you're all done with a very lightly sketched out outline, and then you can go in with your acrylic paint if that's what you're using. Alright, so that's about it for today. Thanks so much for checking out my videos, and be sure to check out my channel for more art videos. Have a great day. Toodles!